So you want to know how to fit a bypass relay to the Towbar electrics on a VW Caddy. Well, let me show you. A 2012 VW Caddy, little 1.6 TDI. Mine doesn't come with, or I can't find anywhere. I've looked high and low for the towing electric module. Some of them do come fitted, some don't. This one may have one somewhere, but I can't find it for the life of me. So I got one of the bypass relays online. You can get sort of specific kits, you know, vehicle specific kits, but that was like 180 quid. So I picked up just a maypole bypass relay. And I've just wired it in. So what you're going to want to do, first things first, is remove both wall panels. So I've got that one off, and then that one. Excuse all the mess in the back, it's just kind of all been thrown about. So if yours has one fitted as standard, it will either be in here or over on that side. But like I say, mine didn't have one, so I picked up one of these little bad boys. So this is the maypole version. Just get it to focus. So it's just a 7-way universal bypass relay. Obviously this side is what goes down to your tow bar, which is down there. And then this side, these tails come fitted on the relay, the standard, and then obviously they're what you splice into your existing line. So it's kind of, you have to do a little bit of investigatory work trying to figure out which one of your original wires does what. It's a fairly simple job, makes it much easier if you've got two people. Simply just get a little Stanley blade and, you know, scratch off a bit of the surface on the cables, and then with your multimeter just you know, go one by one to figure out what one does what. Like I say, if you've got someone at the front, it makes it a bit easier because they can operate the brake, you know, the lights, indicators, blah blah blah, whilst you're going through the wires with the reader to until you get 12 volts, you know. So obviously on this one, for anyone who's interested, this particular van, these were the they were the actual colours that I had, and that's what they did. So you've got red black was my brake light, grey red was my side light, black and green right indicator, blue and black was reverse, white yellow was fog, brown is ground, and then black and white was left indicator. So that's something to bear in mind, because obviously when you're splicing into, you know, one side, obviously this part of the loom only feeds the right hand cluster. So what you do have to do, which is what this cable is you have to run a cable from this light cluster on the left, or just simply run it up behind the trunking through the roof space, back down, and that is literally just my left hand flasher, so my left indicator. You can do the same thing with side light, but to be honest with you, the side lights I've literally just wired, you know, both left and right into the right hand. All that means is that if there's a problem and you lose power to the right hand cluster, obviously you're going to lose both lights on the trailer. But you can sort of see, literally just spliced in, let it focus a little bit, and then I've literally just soldered onto each cable, covered it with heat shrink. You can sort of see that all of the solder points are staggered. That is kind of by design. That way it just means that if there is ever a problem with one of them, and it comes through the heat shrink, the likelihood of it earthing out between, you know, two of the joints is much slimmer, because obviously they're not, you know, stacked on top of each other. Then afterwards, just for the ease of it, for a later date, I've literally just labelled each individual cable as to what does what. With regards to the relay, obviously you've got this one's you know, just your standard 7-pin. You can see on there that it misses out number 3, and that is because your black and brown, which are your side lights, so normally 3 would be no, sorry, I'm lying to you. Yeah, sorry. Your number 3 is your earth, but what you can do, so on here, the earth itself, there's no earth on this side. The earth is on this side, and it's the white. And I've literally just run that, popped it into an eyelet, and popped it onto an original earth point in the back of the van. And you can see on here that one of the points is a reverse. It all depends on the wiring that's on your van. Some of them will remain obsolete, some you'll use, and what you could do if you did need it is you can put the black and the brown, which are the tail lights, you can put them together. So you could put both black and brown in number 6, and that would leave this one empty for your reverse. In this one, it's I haven't got that. So what I'll then do with this is I'm going to mount it up in this little cubby hole here. That's where I'll mount it. I've left about ½ metre as sort of a bit of a service loop there, just in case I ever need to do anything or move it. I've got some spare. Obviously this lot I'm going to tidy up a little bit later, and yeah, I'll just put some wrap around it. The actual lead for the trailer disappears down in there, and if I take you outside, so that's when I've gone through an existing grommet that was already there, and then, you know, just come down, gone along, tied it up on the inside of the tow bar there, come along, and then gone down through the neck, you know, the top of the neck on the tow bar, and then brought it out just on the bottom here, come up along into your plug. Obviously these numbers, your 1 through to 7, you'll wire that in the same way that you'll wire, you know, a standard trailer plug, which again, for anybody who needs it or wants it, that is the wiring for the trailer lead, and for that for the relay. So yellow is 1, blue is 2, white is 3, green's 4, brown's 5, red 6, black 7. Like I say, it's the same how you wire it there and how you wire it that end. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is the relays, they need their own power supply. It's the only thing I haven't run in yet. I more than likely, I might take it up to the interior light at the back, but I may just run a complete unit all the way to the fuse board. So for the power, just going to show you here quickly. So we have run from there, and we've basically stitched it up to the loom all the way through, and then disappear down in here. That then comes out. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but it comes out up in there. Hopefully you can see that. And then basically I've ran that all the way along the back of the cab and just tucked it in under the carpet like so, but literally just all the way along the back. And that then obviously brings it up this side, and then basically I've just gone under this, just tucked it under. You won't be able to see it now because I've tucked this bit in, but all the way along now, all the way along the panel, and then you can just see it poke out there. And then under your dash, you in theory should have the same as what I have, and there is basically a grommet that runs straight through there, through the bulkhead. You will need some trace wires for this. Again, I'm not quite sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but it comes through from down there, and then that just comes straight through onto the battery. And then obviously got my fuse holder just there. So that's the power. Fairly short and sweet little video. Think pretty much covered everything. Like I say, just don't forget, whatever you do, you've got to run an independent cable from your left-hand flasher over to the side that you're putting the relay, and just don't forget that it's got to be fused. You've got to have an inline fuse on it. I think 25 amp is what my relay takes. Obviously yours might be slightly different, so just follow, you know, the specs. But they've got to be fused. There is another little, I'll show you that whilst I think of it. So you've got two little ports there. 12 volt goes into the top one, and that TT one, nothing goes into that on this one. That is for, I believe, if you have like the instrument cluster light for when you've got a trailer on the back. This particular van, I haven't got it, so yeah, that one just stays redundant, but that's where your 12 volt will go in. That's pretty much it. They're fairly straightforward to do. The longest part is figuring out what does what, but like I say, don't take the information that I've given you as gospel. That's this particular van. Obviously it might change on yours, but the principle's the same, and that's not just for the caddies. Installing one of these bypass relays, the process is the same on any vehicle, but the chances are, if it's a different vehicle to a caddy, your wiring is going to be different. So I hope you find it helpful, useful. Like I say, short and sweet, but it's kind of to the point. So yeah, that's wiring in a bypass relay for the trailer electrics when your vehicle, or your VW Caddy in this instance, hasn't got the electric module already in place. So appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch the video, and I hope you have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next one.